I gave my girlfriend, Sophia, $1 million as dowry. I didn't realize that she immediately gave it all to her childhood friend Liam for startup capital. She even said something like, "Your money is my money. What does my money have to do with you?" She's waiting to be the one to spot the 100 billionaire. But I immediately canceled the wedding and asked her to pay back the money. Since they are rare soulmates and soulmates, then I should also be generous and let them get married. A month before the wedding, I transferred 1 million dowry to Sophia. The money was discussed by both parents and used for the down payment of our new home. My heart was full of anticipation, thinking how wonderful it would be to have a warm little home in the future. "What are you doing?" Sophia was startled by me and glared at me. "What are you yelling about, so uneducated?" "I just transferred $1 million dowry to Sophia, and I didn't expect her to transfer the money to Liam right away." I was really shocked when I saw this scene. "Why did you transfer all our dowry money to Liam?" She was full of unconcern and said, "What does your money have to do with me? What you give me is my money. Besides, Liam is starting a business now and needs $1 million to start it. When he succeeds, I'll be his biggest shareholder." She glanced at me and sounded a bit disdainful. "Forget it. What do you know about starting a business?" After saying that, Sophia walked to the door and started to put on her shoes. "I am not going back tonight. Liam is going to open the bar. You transfer me another $10,000. I want to send him some ace of spades." The door then closed, leaving me sitting alone in the same place. I can't remember how many times she didn't come home at night. The last time it was Liam's treat and I wanted to check it out, but she said it was her best friend's party and she couldn't bring outsiders. The other time Liam had a cut on her leg, and she took all the medicine in the house and didn't come back for 3 days as a result. I don't remember much about what happened before that. Anyway, it's all because of Liam, and this time he went so far as to give Liam all the dowry of $1 million, with no regard for my future or hers. Suddenly, I don't feel like putting up with it anymore. How could I interfere with a soulmate's relationship since they were people of vision and talent? The wedding was scheduled for a month later. I took back all the invitations I had sent out and apologized to my friends and family. A mutual friend messaged me asking what happened, and I replied to him with just 2 words. "Liam. Friends know what happened between Sophia and Liam. Dude, it's actually good to split up. Sophia's not really your type." That's right, I saved up this $1 million by working 3 jobs a day. Sophia is a local. When we were talking about marriage, her parents asked for $1 million straight away. My parents were horrified. It would take them 20 years to save up that kind of money. My parents advised me to give up, but I slept only 4 hours a day so I could marry Sophia, working during the day, delivering at night, cutting videos in the early hours of the morning. After 2 years of saving, I finally saved up $1 million. I thought that would be enough to get married. I didn't expect her to give Liam everything I had worked so hard for so easily. I told Sophia's parents about the canceled wedding. It didn't take long for them to call me. "Ethan, was it your decision or Sophia's to cancel the wedding?" "It was my decision." Hearing that I made the decision, Sophia's dad's expression immediately changed. "Ethan, are you playing with our Sophia family? The invitations have all been sent out. And if you want to cancel now, won't you make us lose face?" Another woman's voice came from the opposite side. "Ethan, a wedding cancellation is not a small matter. We just want to advise you not to be impulsive. You can communicate well with Sophia if you have problems. Casually canceling the wedding to Sophia, this would be like a provocation and a threat. Of course, my Sophia has always been very kind and understanding. You should also reflect on yourself. We'll pretend we didn't hear about the wedding being canceled. You should not be too capricious. Learn how to make Sophia happy." Listening to the dissatisfaction in Sophia's mother's words, I finally understood where that feeling of self-righteousness in Sophia came from. Before, in order to be able to marry Sophia, I always bowed my head and obeyed, completely listening to what they said. Now I understand. They despise me from the bottom of their hearts. I'm not kidding. I'm going to cancel the reception tomorrow. Also, since the wedding is canceled, please ask Sophia to return my dowry money to me as soon as possible. Without waiting for the other party to respond, I hung up the phone. Looking at my cell phone, it's already 4 in the morning and Sophia is still not back. The only thing on my phone was a couple of messages from her 2 hours ago and a missed call. What's going on? Transferring money. You hurry up and transfer the money. Ethan, why haven't you moved? Hurry up and transfer the money. I'll advance the money first. Remember to pay me back tomorrow. Yes, pay back the money. Since Sophia and I got engaged, she said she quit her job in order for me to experience raising a family in advance. I'm responsible for all the expenses at home, and I have to transfer money and buy extravagant gifts for Sophia every special holiday. I could only eat steamed buns and pickles. Once I really had no money. Sophia said to let me be the debt she owed and pay her back when I had money. I always thought she was joking, like a little girl. I didn't expect her to actually come to me a week later. She also said that I hadn't paid her on time and that I would be charged double interest. I had no choice but to give her all the money I earned in the week. Looking back, it was because I loved Sophia, so I was willing to give her everything. Now I just want to say, don't ask for any more money from me. The next day, I stood at the front desk of the wedding company. My tone was firm. The deposit cannot be refunded, but today I must cancel the contract. When the person in charge saw how determined I was, he could only start the refund procedure. Just then, Sophia suddenly shouted behind me, "How could you? Is $1 million worth all the commotion? Liam's startup is about to sign a big contract. So it's always okay to split $2 million with you then, right?" She pushed me away and then said to the person in charge, "The wedding will go on as planned." In addition to booking me another 180,000, 18,000 starry sky top, the person in charge was a little embarrassed and kept looking at Sophia and me. I said in time, "Yes, but please change the groom's name. It doesn't matter who Sophia wants to marry or when. It's none of my business." Sophia's eyes burst into flames and she lifted her finger to poke me in the chest. "You're so worked up over a little money, Ethan. Can you stop being so calculating all the time?" I took a step back to avoid her sharp manicure. My eyes unconsciously swept over the strawberry mark on her neck. A picture of her in a halter dress in the bar last night, giving Liam a drink, still at the top of our mutual friends page, popped into my mind. The glass door made a tinkling sound. Liam walked over to her with his hands in his pockets while stepping forward to put his arm around Sophia, and said with a bit of flirtation, "Sophia, don't give Ethan a hard time. He's been saving up for 2 years to come up with the dowry money." He purposely trailed off his voice in a bit of a mocking manner. "How about I pay you back your $1 million first?" "No way." Sophia immediately said, "Your company is now at a critical moment without this fund. Last night's big order will not be taken down. I'll take care of this matter. Don't interfere." After saying that, she came forward and grabbed my wrist, changed to a resigned expression, her eyes glittering with tears. "Ethan, do you still remember the year of my junior year when it was raining heavily, and I had a fever of 39 degrees? Of course I remember. That night she was huddled in the infirmary on Enrollment 4, and I went over the wall to find her favorite tarot bobo all over town. The gleam in her eyes was exactly the same as before. But when she said those words, I felt my heart go cold as ice. When you first carried me to the hospital, you said, as long as I want, as long as you are willing to now for this amount of money. You don't even want to give up the promise you made back then. Liam is my best friend. The house can be bought anytime, but there is only one Liam. You like me so much. You will support me, right?" Liam interjected at the right time. "Why don't you let me borrow Ethan's?" He took out his business card holder and his fountain pen wrote in his checkbook. "But lately the funds have been invested in the smart home project, So let's write an IOU first. Pa, I pushed Sophia's hand away. Is your show over? I looked at Sophia's suddenly hard look and said, either you pay back the money now, or I will call the police and say that you are scamming. Seeing that I wouldn't compromise no matter what I said, the plea in Sophia's eyes instantly turned into anger. Ethan, take advantage of the opportunity given to you. When Liam's company goes public, do you think I'll still need you as a follower? She angrily throws the engagement ring at me and drags Liam away. I'm waiting for you to get down on your knees and beg me to get married. I looked at the ring she had thrown on the floor. Sophia didn't like it at the time because it was only 1 carat. Ethan, I don't really know how to take a ring like that out of the house. You can't even see a diamond that small. How could I have found someone as incompetent as you? At that time, I felt so guilty that I only thought of working hard and saving money to buy her a bigger diamond ring. Now it seems that it wasn't really the diamond ring she didn't like. But me, I picked it up and threw it in the trash. Just like the relationship, it was broken long ago. I went home and started unpacking. This house was found with the help of Sophia's parents. It's quite far away from my company, and it's really not very convenient. Just halfway through organizing, Sophia came back. Seeing my movements, a cold smile appeared at the corner of her mouth. Ethan, it's no fun to go on like this. Liam's company will make a few $1,000,000 soon. I'm investing, you country bumpkin. Do you understand you should be grateful that I'm giving you the chance to get rich? It's really too much for you to cancel the wedding like this. Go apologize to my parents. I pulled my suitcase out the door, not bothering to argue with her. Sophia blocked my way. What the hell are you up to? I've made it very clear to you about the $1,000,000. Are you upset because of Liam? Come on, I've known him for years. It's none of your business who's with him. It's almost time to get married. What are you dawdling there all day long? I pushed her away. My tone was calm. I don't want to make any more trouble, and I won't bring it up again in the future. It doesn't matter to me if you want to start a business with Liam or go drinking with him. If you want to get married, go to Liam. He's definitely willing to do you a favor. After saying that, I left with my suitcase. Sophia scoffed at the back and said, "It's so childish to run out because you're jealous." Okay, then if you want to leave, leave quickly. I, Sophia, have a lot of people waiting to take care of me. And I've been putting up with you, a penniless guy, for a long time. You'd better have some ambition. Don't cry and beg me to get you back. The penniless one. That's what she's always thought. I hustle 18 hours a day and all I get is a comment about how poor you are. I was so angry that my whole body was shaking and I turned around and yelled at her. Yes, it's true that I'm broke and don't deserve you, Miss Sophia. Am I not voluntarily backing down? You can find whoever you want, I don't care. But if Sophia doesn't pay back the money again, then we'll meet in court. When I walked out of the gate of the cell, it felt like I had finally escaped from prison. A sense of relief and joy filled my heart. I no longer had to force myself to work day and night. This agonizing phase had finally come out of me. I took the car and came home. My parents were relieved to see me dragging my luggage through the door. Have you figured it out? Are you really not going to get married? I nodded. Figured it out. Dowry's money has already been paid back to them. I guess they will delay. I'm going to quit my job and go to another company and in the meantime, get a lawyer and sue. My mom and dad were very supportive of my plan. I had previously taught myself editing skills to earn money. And now, several companies had come forward to work with me. One company hired me as an editor and paid me more than my previous 3 jobs combined. Because the company is not in New York. I turned them down once before because of Sophia. Now that they offered me the job again, I had no reason to refuse. The next day, I went to the office to hand over my work to my coworkers. Manager Mike called me into the office and to my surprise I met Liam. "Hello, Ethan. What a coincidence." Liam sat on the sofa with his legs crossed. His tone was not very friendly. "Ethan, why don't you look well? Why don't you look good, Ethan? I heard you're leaving the company. Manager Mike hurriedly interjected, Liam, don't worry. Ethan is the most experienced planner in our company, and he will definitely take the lead in this smart home project. I quickly said, no, Manager Mike. I'm only here to hand over my work today. What should we do then? Manager Mike, Ethan must be in charge of this project, or I'll let someone else have the opportunity to work with me. Manager Mike's forehead was oozing with cold sweat. Afraid of losing this big order, he took my hand and dragged me to the side. Ethan, Manager Mike is begging you to finish this project before you leave. It's a multi-million-dollar bill. I won't budge. He gritted his teeth and said firmly, if I can finish this project, I'll give you double the severance pay. Please, I'm really begging you. 3 days, I will stay for 3 more days. I will leave after 3 days. I'm a little soft inside. Not because of the money, but because of the pleading in Manager Mike's eyes. Once I was like him, seeking help everywhere for money. The project kickoff meeting was scheduled for the next morning. When I pushed open the door to the conference room with my laptop in my arms, Sophia was leaning back in the main seat with her legs crossed. Liam's assistant bends down to pour her coffee. Ethan, the team leader, is 3 minutes late. Sophia puts down her cup with a disgruntled look on her face. How can you get the project done when you work like this? I looked at the clock on the wall. The notification email said 10 o'clock. I am the party. I have the right to adjust the meeting time at any time. Liam pushed the door in and put a stack of documents in front of me. This is the first version of the model drawing for the smart home plan. 5 hours. Ethan, team leader, should be able to finish it. This workload will take at least a day to complete. Liam spread his hands and said with feigned helplessness, What then? It's too late. If you can't hand it in on time, you'll be fined. Team leader Ethan. Sophia smiles casually from the side. Ethan, if you get down on your knees and beg me now, I'll give you an extra day. How about that? There's no need. It's only 5 hours. I closed the folder and stood up. However, I'm leaving you with very little time. I looked to Sophia. You should have received the lawyer's letter as well. Don't get carried away. Don't forget that I'm still your debtor. You, Ethan, how could you? Sophia hurriedly tried to come over and hit me but was stopped by Liam. Don't be angry, Sophia. Liam smiled slightly. Sorry, Ethan, I was just joking. 1 day is enough. Just turn it in tomorrow. After saying that, he pulled Sophia away. I was a bit helpless. I wasn't threatening them when I said 5 hours. After carefully looking at the materials Liam gave me, I realized that the smart home he made was like playing house, and it couldn't be practically applied at all. Beyond that, though, I found something even more interesting. To confirm, I called a friend I know who is also working on smart homes. When I hung up, I couldn't help but laugh. Liam, what courage! That afternoon, I thought the furniture size wasn't quite right and wanted Liam to come and measure it on site. At first, he was reluctant to do so. So I suggested that we just look at the structure of the furniture in the sample room, and he reluctantly agreed. After sending the photos of the scene to my friend quickly replied to confirm. I immediately called the police. At the police station, Liam came at me like an angry panther, roaring. The police stood in front of Liam. You say you're innocent. You have to investigate clearly. Now there is a report that you are illegally acquiring substandard products and trying to pass them off as good. So please cooperate. Liam looked at me in surprise, obviously wondering how I knew all this. Actually, it was just a coincidence. The original design of the substandard furniture that Liam bought was made by me, except that certain dimensions and structures were slightly different. I had already asked my friend to confirm that the manufacturer who made it in the first place was the same as Liam's producer. Despite all their cover-ups, I could tell right away that there was something wrong with the furniture. The white lamps outside the interrogation room hummed as the sound of Sophia in her high heels drew closer. I looked up and saw her eyes red as fire. Ethan is something else. She throws her platinum bag on the mediation table with force. You think this little stunt is going to make me change my mind? I play with the miniature camera in my evidence bag. Is Sophia here to help Liam pay his fine? Don't pretend to be noble here. Her nails are painted as red as Cheerios, and she almost poked me in the nose. Which building materials market doesn't mix some bad quality goods? Who are you to report him? She said, seemingly angry, and asked me if you did all that because Liam was jealous. You remove the police. I promise I won't go to him again. Let's live a good life. Is this okay? I really can't help but laugh and cry. Where on earth did she get such confidence? I pushed her hand away and put the evidence in front of her. Sophia, can you stop being so ignorant? This is your home. I'll leave if you want me to. By the way, last year, there was a leakage in the resettlement house over in the west side of the city. Do you remember the family that was killed in their sleep? This batch that Liam is selling uses the same chip. You're talking nonsense. Sophia got anxious all of a sudden. He told me that those things were second-class products and that there was no safety problem at all. Seeing me so firm, Sophia felt heavy in her heart. This can't be, this really can't be. Things have come to this point. Sophia knows that Liam is really breaking the law. Just then, Liam was brought out by the police. Seeing Sophia, a glimmer of hope flashed in his eyes. Sophia, save me. I'll be released after I pay the fine. Go to Officer David and tell him that I am my uncle. Liam didn't finish what he said afterward, and the police took him away. The next morning, my house was full of uninvited guests. I was having breakfast with my parents when I suddenly heard a sharp knock on the door outside. I stood up and went to open the door to see Sophia, she and her parents with somewhat contrived smiles on their faces. Ethan, we came to see you and to talk to your parents. Sophia's dad spoke first, a bit of an attempt at pandering in his tone. I sidled up to let them in, mentally scoffing. Sophia stood at the end, her head lowered, looking resigned, not at all like the haughty person she was before. Uncle, Aunt, please have a seat. I greeted them softly, and my parents put down their dishes and stood up to greet them. Sophia's mom looked around as soon as she entered the door, her eyes vaguely showing a few hints of criticism. But she quickly hid this emotion. She smiled and said to my parents and me, "Oh, Ethan is such a good boy. We've always thought he was a good boy. Sophia is lucky to have met him." My parents looked at each other, obviously a little surprised. My father frowned and didn't say anything, while my mother smiled politely. No, no, no. It's fate that the two kids are together. Sophia's father took over. Sophia's father took over the conversation. His tone was a bit anxious. Yes, Ethan, this child is very down to earth. We have always appreciated him. Sophia didn't know much about it before, and did some things that gave people headaches. We only realized it recently. And we're really angry. So what? We purposely came over here just to discuss with you guys. Let's go ahead with the wedding as planned. I sneered and didn't say anything. Seeing this, Sophia's mother immediately pulled Sophia to me and urged her. Sophia, quickly apologize to Ethan and tell her that you won't be dating Liam anymore. Sophia raised her head, although a little reluctant, but still whispered, "Ethan, I'm sorry, I was wrong. I'm not going out with Liam in the future. Can you forgive me?" I didn't look at her. I walked straight to the sofa and sat down. My tone was cold. "Sophia, do you think the problem is Liam?" Sophia froze for a moment and wanted to say something but couldn't. Her mom was a bit anxious and immediately continued, "Ethan, Sophia is still young, not too understanding, was deceived. Don't worry. We will definitely teach her well in the future and make sure she doesn't make this mistake again." My father finally couldn't help but interject. His tone was a bit cold. "Young, not quite understanding. Sophia is already in her 20s. She is no longer a child. You parents, what were you busy with before?" Sophia's father's face instantly changed, immediately compensated with a smile and said, "Yes, yes, yes, we also have responsibilities." "But Ethan, can you give Sophia a chance on the basis of so many years of friendship between the two families? The wedding thing, we will definitely do it beautifully. And the dowry thing can also be discussed." My mom frowned, clearly unhappy with their attitude. However, she chose to be patient and just looked at me, giving me the sign to make my own decision. I stood up and walked over to Sophia, looking her straight in the eye. Sophia, do you really think that we can go back to the past? Sophia's eyes flickered, bit her lip and whispered, Ethan, I know I was wrong, give me a chance, I will change. I shook my head and said in a calm tone, Sophia, your problem is not just giving the money to Liam, it's that you never respected our relationship. What do you take me for, an ATM, a spare tire? Or are you just a tool to show your success? Sophia's mom was a little anxious and said, Ethan, how can you say that? Sophia really loves you. She's just temporarily confused. I interrupted her. My attitude is very firm, Aunt. I know if Sophia really loves me. As for the wedding, I have decided to cancel it and won't continue. Sophia's father's face became very serious all of a sudden, with some warnings in his tone. Ethan, you have to understand that our Sophia family is also people with status in New York. If you do this now, it won't do anyone any good. I smiled contemptuously and showed no weakness. Uncle, are you threatening me? I, Ethan, am honorable and not afraid of the majesty of your Sophia family. As for the 1 million dowry, I have already found a lawyer. If you don't return it, then we have to go to court to settle it. Sophia's mom heard, face changed, quickly grabbed my hand and said, Ethan, don't be so excited. The money thing can be discussed. Wedding things we talk again, you think. I pushed her hand away, coldly said, there is nothing to talk about. Sophia, from today we are separated. You can all go back. Sophia's father turned pale with anger and pointed at me. Ethan, you don't know what you're doing. It's a blessing of several lifetimes that our Sophia family is willing to look at you. My father suddenly stood up and interrupted him. That's enough. No matter how rich and powerful the Sophia family is, they can't bully people like this. My son doesn't owe you anything if you keep on pestering him. Don't blame us for being unforgiving. Sophia's mom felt that the situation was not right and hurriedly pulled Sophia and her husband out of the room, while muttering, okay, we'll go, but don't regret it. The door slammed shut and the living room was quiet again. I let out a sigh of relief and turned my head to look at my parents, noticing that they both had satisfied smiles on their faces. My mom came over to me and gently patted me on the shoulder. Son, you did a good job. A family like that isn't worth the effort. I nodded, but felt a sense of relief in my heart. This relationship finally ended completely. A month later, I started working at a new company in order to keep my parents out of Sophia family's way. I picked them up. The company assigned me a small house, just right for our family of 3. My parents are already old and it's a good time to enjoy life. I happened to take them on a tour around the world. As for the $1 million, we'll talk about it when the lawyer's letter is sent to Sophia's family. Sophia's dad called me. As for Sophia, I don't think she and I will see each other again for the rest of our lives. She is so stubborn, she probably won't learn to bow down in her life. Unexpectedly, 3 months later, I met Sophia downstairs at the company. Seeing her again, I was at peace. What are you doing here? Sophia said with tears in her eyes. Ethan, I understand where I went wrong. I've thought about a lot of things in these 3 months. I got used to your concern and was too self-righteous to think that you must not leave me. There she was talking to herself and I watched in silence. She was indeed confident. This confidence came from her good family background. When I first liked her, it was because the confidence and radiance she exuded attracted me. But then I realized that I was nothing like her. I felt small while she was full of confidence. My low self-esteem made me do everything he said, while her confidence made him appear to me, taking my love for him for granted and completely unappreciative. When I completely decided to stop being involved, called off the wedding, didn't care about him and Liam at all, and even moved to another city, she realized that I was really going to leave her. While I was with her, she felt like I didn't matter, and when I left, she realized that she couldn't even do something as simple as pay the water bill. All those chores and expenses that I had been helping her with, she really couldn't do alone. Every single thing she encountered was really bothering her. She started messaging me over and over, but all she got was a bunch of exclamation points. She came to my house looking for me, only to find out that I had moved out a long time ago. Asked our mutual friends about me, but they had all been told ahead of time and wouldn't say anything more, just like they did when I canceled the wedding in the first place. Sophia really doesn't deserve me. She stopped paying attention to Liam and broke off contact with him. After a few twists and turns, she finally found my current address. She was surprised to say that she didn't expect me to become a professional editor. She rented an apartment near my company. Finally, she told me in person what she was here for this time. Etten, I was wrong about what happened before, but you're the one I've always loved. I came here to get you back. Give me a chance, I will change all my faults. I shook my head. There's no need, I don't love you anymore. Sophia said insistently, I won't give up. As a result, every time I got off work, I could see her waiting for me not far away. She started to bring me things like I did before when I was courting her. Today it was a bento lunch. Tomorrow a bouquet of flowers. She slowly approached my friends around me and tried to find out about me from them. 1 month, 2 months, 3 months passed. My close friends said she had changed and urged me to give her a chance. Sophia's parents couldn't help themselves and came to talk to me about it once again. This time, they seemed to be very serious and wanted me to get back with Sophia, but I actively avoided them as soon as I saw them. Every time I passed Sophia, I choose not to look at him, but I was really fed up with being watched. That day, when Sophia served me my homemade soup again, I spilled it in one fell swoop. Sophia, you know what you look like now. Like a kind of trouble that's really hard to get out of. A little flustered, she picks up her cell phone and holds the screen up to me. You see, I sent Liam to jail. The headline on the cell phone news read Richie Rich was sentenced to 7 years in prison for selling bad chips. I took a step back, trying to avoid her, and that's what he got for asking for it. I took a step back to avoid the familiar scent of her perfume. My coldness finally hurt Sophia. She suddenly grabbed my arm and cried bitterly. Ethan, I woke up at 5 o'clock every day to learn how to make soup, and waited downstairs for 2 hours to deliver the bento, only to be kicked out by the security guards of your company as a pervert. As you clearly saw, I'm changing. I'm really trying to improve. Why are you all blind to it? I silently separated her trembling fingers. Sophia, not all damage can be repaired. You think what you're doing will move me. Actually, the only one who's touched is you. You've done far less than 1/10 of what I did in the first place. What you really loved was always the feeling of being loved, not me. I feel revolted when I see you now. Does that count? Does that shatter your pathetic illusions? Sophia's gone. She's completely gone. Ethan, at 17, running in a rainstorm with a sick girl on his back, and Sophia, who would be upset that her poetry book was soiled, ended up in a yellowed college diary forever.